Hey everyone, I was gonna do like a cute little intro to let you know I was going live and give you a warning and give myself time to prepare. But hey, we're live. Um, so welcome. It is Coach Darcy here, and it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. That's what it is. And I hope that you hop on. And would you do me a favor? And would you like, follow, and share this video out? Between Coach's Corner that's on Tuesdays at 11 with Coach Monica, and then my random videos during the week of things that are just on my mind. It is very helpful to jump around this wall called algorithm, and without you and sharing and liking and following and showing your support, we are at ground zero. So if you would, that'd be amazing. When you hop on, please say hello and tell me where you're watching from. What platform are you watching from? Because I'm on several different platforms right now, and that is all I've got. Any intro wise. So today, as you can see, what my title is about is why your weight loss journey will be overwhelming. Listen, if you've been on a journey before and you quickly gave up, or maybe you stuck into it for a really long time, I'm pretty sure I've been in both of those places before. And I've lost a lot of money in the meantime of doing any of these ventures of trying to lose weight or trying to get healthy. It becomes really overwhelming. And even during a journey like this, it can be super overwhelming. So today I'm going to point, I think I have like about 4 points that I'm going to talk about today. So I'm going to give it a slow minute. And in the meantime, I'm going to share out what I was going to share at the beginning of this little infomercial about insulin. So I'll be right back. See, and it just was peaceful. I love that commercial. I loved that music. So it's just an informative video about insulin and what happens when we store up too much insulin, and it kind of goes into what we're going to talk about today. Things that can become overwhelming on our journey. Whatever lifestyle that you are on right now, it could be ketovore, it could be carnivore, it could be paleo, it could be Whole 30, it could be Weight Watchers, it could be, I'm trying to think about vegan, it could be vegetarian, it could be, I don't know if I'm sure there's other ones out there, keto, whatever journey you've decided to go on. And maybe you haven't fixed what you are doing food wise, and maybe you're trying to get healthy by just going to the gym more. That's a good start, but it's not going to get you to your goal. I'm just telling you that. It's a great start. It's a great start. I just went to the gym, and after a week off, because I did something the last week that I was exercising, and I think I overdid it, which brought some weird throbbing areas in my arm. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to take a week off, let it fix itself so that I don't continue to try to injure myself anymore. And it helped. And so then going back to the gym today, I experience joy in my brain. That's what happens when you go work out. You release these hormones in your brain, dopamine, serotonin, like all the things, the happy hormones, when you exercise. So don't get me wrong, exercising is very beneficial for you. So do it, and it makes you stronger. So, but that's not what we're talking about today. I tend to go off and I say that, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're going to be talking about why your weight loss journey will be overwhelming. First of all, my first point is we have been taught so far off kilter. From the 1950s was the beginning of when they, these creative people in this world, which don't get me wrong, creative people are needed, but sometimes that creativity is so creative that it becomes a bad habit. So they created in the 1950s, they started the convenience of fast food, food in a box, food that you don't have to make from scratch. So the word convenience comes into play. That's the beginning of convenience. And not only convenience started to occur, but also once they realized that the foods were starting to not last as long on the shelves, and then they'd waste a whole bunch of money, then they started figuring out, okay, scientists, like what can we add to these foods to, well, make them last longer on the shelves? That's where the preservatives come in. And then the whole when people started to become more obese, because that was not a thing back in the day. It was a very rare thing that there was anybody that was overweight or oversized. I remember seeing the show I Love Lucy, and the character Ethel was considered to be obese and overweight, and she was like the average size of women now. So, to me, you can just see the difference between 1950s and later years and now, from then until now. Like, there just see a whole mentality change. And then, like, when I say we've been taught different, then people bring into these things like low fat. Well, if we're getting overweight, that means we need to have low fat things. So they created these products that started to just strip away all the nutrient value and added these, like, when you process milk over and over and over again and you get low fat milk, you know how much sugar is in milk? It's like 34 grams of sugar. So between the things that they add to our milk, and we're feeding it to our children, like when they're babies, and feeding it to ourselves and our cereal and all, and cooking with it, like there's just so much. It just kind of went downhill spiral. And I also recall when I was in school, we had, I'm going to fix this, is bothering me. We had health class, and that was when the pyramid was a thing. And if you can recall what the pyramid was, we were taught that the oils and sugars were at the top in that tiny little space. And then I'm sure, like your vegetables and fruits. And then it goes down to the legumes. I'm missing, and the meats are like another space, and they were just unproportionate. But the grains were at the bottom, and like, well, it was just kind of backwards. So we were supposed to eat more grains than we were supposed to eat healthy fats and fish and meat and all those things. So over time, like, we've been just trained to have that standard American diet that has ruined our idea of what is healthy. There's so many healthy foods out there, but we've also warped, the genuine heirloom type of fruits and vegetables, grains, all of that is not the same because we have genetically modified them to become bigger, plumper, and sugarier. Filled with sugar. Those big juicy apples are created to be making you want to have more apples because they're huge and they're full of sugar. Like, yeah. I learned this from the Nature Wants Us to Be Fat. And I'm getting this information from Dr. Richard Johnson. And he was talking about how It goes into depth about fructose and all of those things and genetically modified fruits. So like when they're saying, yeah, eat your fruits and vegetables, and we're eating giant fruits and vegetables cups worth a day, you've got a lot of, yes, it's natural sugar, but your body doesn't know the difference between that. It has the nutrient content, yeah, but it doesn't know the difference glycemic index wise, like between an apple and a Snickers bar, or fill even your bread. It's going to process and it's going to turn it into sugar. So it's just a different form. So yeah, we got the nutrient form. Cool. But we're eating an excessive amount. So nowadays we're just trained to think, oh, the standard way of our American diet is the way. But guess what? The other countries around the world, they don't eat like us. I just want to tell you that. They don't eat like this. They have banned, the certain foods. They don't like us sending foods over to them that we grow because we do genetically modified things. They don't want that crap. They know better than that. I actually had a Frenchman when we went to Paris, and I might have already shared the story, but I just get a kick out of it. We were getting our portrait drawn from him, and he was asking me what I do for a living. And I said, oh, I'm a health coach in America, and I help people around the world to eat healthy. And he's he's like confused, like a health coach. He's like a sports coach, like football, or like no, nothing with the sports. This is just eating wise, like. And he's like, oh, well, not in France. You wouldn't coach in France because he was just talking about in general, like in other countries, like they walk everywhere. They have baguettes and croissants and all these things every day, and you don't find a overweight French person. Like there's just a Parisian. That's what, not French person. Sorry, to correct me. I was also trying to speak Spanish. Using my Spanish in Paris didn't work very well. They say things differently. So anyway. That is just the difference between how things are grown overseas and how things are grown here. So you have that. Now, moving on, the next thing of why your weight loss journey will be overwhelming. Well, it's typically because the people around you, your friends, your family, your spouse, your children, people at work, they aren't going through the same process as you. They are not necessarily going to be supportive of you. They are not going to understand, like, well, why would you want to not eat this ice cream when everybody else is eating this ice cream? It's a party, and this is what we do when we party. We eat sugar, cakes, fried food, all those things. Like, it just is baffling to others around you that one would choose to have, healthy fats and low carb and, all these other things. So they don't understand. So there's not going to be much support in the people around you unless they truly understand and are willing to accept, like, yeah, hey, that's cool. You want to get healthy? Go for it. You're going to find that. So the people around you, you may not have the support. In saying that, you're also going to find that willpower isn't going to be your best bud either when your friends and family and traditions and Christmas and all those holidays, all those things happen. Super Bowl's next, Valentine's, we always base our traditions, our holidays, our events around food, and they're usually fried and fatty. And the bad fats in that way. But there's not going to be Will here saying, "Hey, girl, listen, you want to lose this weight, right? Like, you've got to really dive deep into my words that I'm telling you right now and saying, like, hey, listen, don't have FOMO right now. You need to avoid these people. You need to avoid these people giving you food or saying, come on, one bite won't hurt you." So willpower, he's not going to be your best bud, especially when you have not worked hard at containing and really listening to what he has to say. If you're not trained with that, um, what's the word? It starts with a D. I'm not sure what it's called right now. Uh, oh shoot. Anyway, if you're not trained for that, then you're probably not going to be listening to him. You're going to have that quick turn off like, oh, I don't need you right now. I'm going to go and join with my friends because I love hanging out with my friends and doing what they do. I'm afraid that if I don't join in with them, I'm going to miss out. Life is not going to be the same if I don't take that bite of the food or eat their ice cream or go have girls' night and just binge eat chocolate. Like that's just the thing. Like we get in these moments. So when you are in this zone of trying to lose weight, it can be overwhelming with the people around you because they're trying to feed you things and you wonder like, why is it so important that you're trying to feed me? When have you ever cared about feeding me before until I'm actually trying to do something? So, really honing in on knowing that you may not have that support system that you're looking for. So that is where you know that if you don't have the support system here and the people around you, then you might just have to create an accountability in like-minded people around you somewhere else. Good afternoon, Facebook user that I cannot see who your name is, but I'm so glad that you're here. um, next thing, and since I've paused before I move on to my next, if you would like follow and share this video out, this would be just highly helpful. Anybody that does videos like this, we have to go through these loops, like it or not, in order to spread the good news, or this is just the way things are. So like, follow, and share. That would be awesome. The next thing, I guess, since we were talking about products at the beginning, we're going to talk about all the misleading products out there. I totally understand it. If I were a business owner, I kind of want to make money, right? That's just kind of how it goes. We want to make a lifestyle. So when we hear the big thing, like the fad diets out there, oh, Weight Watchers, oh, people say that eating grapefruit is going to make you lose weight, things like that. You're just going to hop on that bandwagon. But then when there are things that actually work, they don't do the work to actually see if this was actually paleo approved or keto approved or vegan approved. They're just making products and slapping labels on them. So my next point of why your weight loss journey is going to be overwhelming is because of every single one of those misleading products. So if you're not trained in this world of being able to take a product and be like, oh, well, yeah, I know what this ingredient is and this ingredient is. I don't know how to pronounce this ingredient. But once you actually look at the nutrition label underneath it, not just the actual nutrition label, because a lot of times you like to say, oh, this has this many calories, this must be great, or this is low calorie. Or when you go at the bottom of the ingredients where it says other ingredients, that is your gold there. That's going to tell you what's actually in this product and what is actually going to even be keto, paleo free, or whatever your lifestyle is. It's going to tell you that this is the breakdown of what is actually in this box or what's actually in this can. So it's always safe to avoid most products that say keto friendly or paleo friendly. I'm supporting my paleo friends because they probably go through the same thing when it comes to these pre-made things that are saying, even the gluten people. Have you ever actually looked at what is in those gluten-free products? You're just eating rice mainly. Sure, that's fine. Sometimes my kicker for me is the low carb the low carb tortillas, the low carb bread. It says low carb or carb master. Like, what is, like, okay, but when we look at this, when we look at the ingredients of something that has that label on there, it still has wheat in it. If it has wheat, we do not eat. That is just the moral of the story. Wheat flour, wheat particles, wheat fibers. The same thing with, the cauliflower crust pizza. When it has supposed to be cauliflower, but the first ingredient is rice flour. I'm just saying, nothing always seems to be like it should be. So just beware of all of those products. And here's the reason. Here's the reason why I'm going to tell you right now that there are products out here that are great. And they don't even have to say keto friendly on it. You can look at the other ingredients and know what is good and what is bad and what not to eat and what is good to eat. You can go to any of these ingredients and say, oh, well, this doesn't say keto friendly, but it is. Like, my new favorite thing was when Heinz or like other ketchup companies decided that they didn't need to add sugar to their ketchup, and they have no sugar added ketchup. That's amazing, because you know how much sugar is in ketchup. You might want to look that up. But when there are some really great keto products out there, and when you find those really good keto products out there, then you want to support them. But always, keynote, always, always, always go back and before you buy, even though you trust the product, go and relook, because a lot of times they do change it up and they go and sell it to another manufacturer and they get their product ingredients from somewhere else. And it just might not be the same, and it's a cheaper material, but it's now not keto approved. I think I did that before I started this lifestyle. I was doing the Jiffy, or was it Jiffy? Jiffy Naturals peanut butter, where it just had peanut butter. And I think it did have palm oil in at the time. But I was just buying this, not even looking. And then all of a sudden, I decided to look at the ingredients, and it had sugar in it. I'm like, how is this all natural when you're adding sugar in it? So had I not looked at that, I wouldn't have known. I would have been misled, and I was misled. And facts are facts. And I've moved on from there. So, okay, so my next thing is moving on from the misleading products and why your weight loss journey will be overwhelming. This is one where I'm going to be having people like, okay, I get that. And then I have people that may not, and it might be sensitive. So careful, this is sensitive content, but it's overthinking. I know it's silly, but we tend to overthink a lot in life in general. And this has nothing to do with food per se, until we get to the point where we are overthinking so much that we begin to stress ourselves out. And then when we've stressed ourselves out, then we become overwhelmed. And then we just keep thinking about it. And then we think about different ways to approach this one topic that is just eating at you. And then you start to build up this more stress and chaos in your life. And then on top of that, you have all these other ones that you've done that with. So you have like all these mangled, like I'm picturing like all of your necklaces all tied in knots, and you are like, when one's tied, it's tied to another one. And then it's like a whole just chaos, right? And then I found this book. I'm in the midst of reading it. So I haven't finished reading it, but what I have been reading, most of this I already knew, but it just is helpful to learn. But it's like this, it's like, Stop Overthinking. This is the book I'm reading. And I was thinking that this was a different cover for a second, where everything was all, like the brain was all mangled. And that's what tends to happen. So the root cause of all this overthinking is that we can form like anxiety from all of that. And so we have that root cause of like, what triggered that? I'm sorry, my nose is starting to run. Sorry. Hold on. Leaking. Okay. So you've got all this overthinking that's causing anxiety, which then is, knocking on the cortisol's door and saying, "Hey, like let's tell the liver and pancreas that you need to start working because we need some insulin." I think it's the liver that's creating the insulin. But it could be the pancreas at this point in time. I'm sorry. I am not sure because my mind's not on that right now. But basically, your body's creating so much insulin. And the presence of insulin, because of that cortisol, you can't lose weight. So when you're stressed and when you're overthinking and you've got all this chaos going on around you, you have to find that root cause. What caused this moment of me feeling so chaotic? Why am I adding all these things to my schedule? And now I'm overthinking about it. Like, there's beyond this. Like, there's so many different things that I'm stressed thinking about it. Oh my goodness, that was a lot. So, when you are not able to take care of yourself, when you're trying to lose weight and you're wondering, like, the scale's not moving. Yeah, I have a whole bunch of things to do. I'm doing the best I can, but the scale's not moving. Well, you got to do a self check. How's your self doing? Are you okay? Are you feeling a little overwhelmed? Are you how's your stress? When we can't take care of ourselves in the mental area of life and things and our surroundings, then by golly, don't expect for that scale to move because it's causing yourself to create this insulin in your system. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. In the presence of insulin, you cannot lose weight. You cannot. Period. That's just science. That's how our body works. So, my last thing, again, read this. It's great. If you want to learn how to organize, not, I guess you could organize this over and stop overthinking because that is like almost the root cause of the anxiety, the stress, all that because you're overthinking. And I might have said that backwards the first time I said that, but overthinking is the root cause. It is the root of all this overthinking. It goes beyond and deeper into this, and it even talks about journaling and how journaling is very important. And vitamin G, which is also vitamin gratitude, is super important. And I just like this guy's thinking process because I think he's spot on. But anyway, my last point, and over the years, we've been a company for 7 years, going on 7 years, or 7, going on 8. I think it's 7. But we've had a lot of experience through these years of being able to view and research and just observe everybody's different seasons that they go through. And we've been able to kind of like summarize that there's certain seasons that we go through during our journey. And listen, I want you to hear me really closely. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. It is at first. We have a honeymoon phase that we go through because we see, yeah, this is an amazing lifestyle. I am losing weight like I've never had my inflammation go away like this before. I've been on medications for buku years and I'm finally reversed all that and I don't need it anymore. You go through this amazing honeymoon phase and you need to hold on to that because there is so many fantastic things about that. But when you're so used to losing and feeling that good and your body starts to normalize, you start to get in your head a little bit and then you go back to, well, I haven't moved on the scale for 2 weeks. Like I was losing 5 pounds at a time and now I'm like hardly moving anything. And then you get in a really negative space. That's another season. So there's so many different seasons. But my point of saying all of these things is Through all those seasons, you learn so much about yourself. You learn how you tick, what you can do to change, what you need to do to grow, what you need to do to improve yourself. All those seasons are important, even the rock bottom ones. And when you get into those rock bottom ones, I suggest making sure that you have accountability partners that's willing to get in the mud with you. To be able to be like, yeah, like I know how to get out. This is normal. You can have these times of being so emotional and you want to go and dive into that chocolate ice cream like you used to do, but we're going to change things up. We're going to actually work through it together. And we're going to get through this muck that we're sitting in right now. And I want you to know that it's okay to sit in this muck for a while. And when you're ready to get out of this muck, I have the way out for you. Just take my hand and let's go. That is the most important thing about accountability. That is the most important thing about having even a group of people that are in the same like-mindedness and having their own journey and their own battles that they're going through. We're all bio-individual. No journey is the same. But let me tell you, every single season that you go through, as long as you're willing to work through it, is worth it. That's all I have to say. I think that's where I should end. If you have any questions, saying, okay, like you're speaking my language, I've been trying to do this on my own, and I just can't. I'm struggling. You're not alone. This is completely normal, and it doesn't make you any less of a person to ask for help. I had to ask for help, and once I did that, and I said yes to this lifestyle, my life was changed forever. There were hard times, and there were amazing times. There were times of me having body dysmorphia. There was times of me feeling weak, bloated, nasty, whatever it is, but I wasn't 220 pounds like I was, and I have to hold on to that. So, if you are ready, give me a message. I have this little doodad here, this QR code that will send you to my webpage. And then also in the comment area below, I have posted my links to my page as well. I have free health coach calls. A free assessment. It's called free health assessment calls. If you would like to see if this is something that would be beneficial for you, make schedule a call with me, and I'd love to chat with you. We work with a variety of people around the world. We have seen a lot of things, and we have had a lot of success. So go ahead and, message me, say I'm ready for this. February is just the start. Like January is usually the time when people are like, oh, I'm going to get in the gym again. I'm going to work out and I'm going to get fit for the summer. And then January hits. Yeah, they're ready and pumped. And then February comes around and they've slowly declined. Like, oh, I can't. I've got too much on my plate. I understand. That was me like 2 weeks ago. But now I'm back in the gym, working out. I said this last time. When you flex your muscles like this, your muscles, yes, it is another one, but your muscles give you I think they're called hope molecules. And it sends it to your brain. It's pretty fantastic. Your body's amazing. You just got to dig deeper and learn more about yourself. But guess what? That is all I have for you today. Meet me back here tomorrow at 11, and Coach Monica and I will be having Coach's Corner. I have no idea what the topic is going to be, so if you have any suggestions or any questions that you want us to talk about, then post it in the comments below of whatever platform that you are on. And we would love to make that a topic. So, have a fantastic rest of your day. I shall see you on the flip side. I should hold on. I've got to figure this whole thing out because my other one's perfect and I haven't gotten there. So, I'm going to